I would like to introduce.
Wiser.
Hey everybody, Web C here. How's it going? Welcome to the show. We got a later show going on tonight, but we're still gonna run it. We're just working on the competition build tonight, and I'm gonna load up TikTok on my phone, and we'll chat with some TikTokers. What? All right. Let's get a little view of what we got going on here. So yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. Just hanging out, building some Gunpla. My recording devices are all charged up and ready to go. I haven't been live in a while. Just a lot going on in life. So yeah, it's finally time to start getting back into it. Into the swing of things, as it's called. And we're gonna have some fun. I am working on a Master Grade Gundam Unicorn Full Armor verka, and it is for a competition. It's going to be really fun. It's a great competition. For those of you over on TikTok, if you want to come and see me work on full detail everything, I will be over at WebC Builds on my red play button. Link is in the bio. But for everybody that's here on this camera, like as you can see, I'm pointing at this is you, and then this is you. Okay, so if you're on that camera over there, um, you're already gonna be able to see everything that I got going on. However, if I do get a little quiet, I'll my camera actually zooms in a little bit on what I got going on. But anyways, we're gonna be running through the grits here. I'm gonna go 400, 600, 800, 1,000, and what we're doing is we're taking machine marks out of the parts. We're getting everything down to a base. Right now I'm doing inner frame parts, and usually I like to get them all coated and detailed before I do the rest of the kit. This helps me get an idea of what the kit's going to look like when it's finished. Finitoed. So how's it going, everybody? Thanks for coming in. Don't forget to drop some likes. My name's Web C. For those of you who are coming in, if you haven't seen my show before, it's just basically me building some competition models. We're up here. Yeah, this is my camera for my WebC official podcast. So, and then have a camera sitting right in front of me for TikTok. And then my PC is also a camera for face fronting. And then in front of me are a bunch of bins of parts. These are the parts that I still have to sand. This pile of parts are the parts that I've already sanded. And then right behind it's another pile of parts that I got to sand. And these are only the first 13 bins out of 31 bins that I have to sand. So I have to go through 31 sets of parts. So wish me luck. I got 3 months. So we're getting everything smooth with the 400, or as close to smooth as we can. Getting rid of all the nub marks. Try not to take as much plastic as you can. Like, really should be conservative on how much plastic you remove. Even though painting builds up layers, you still want to be a little bit conservative on what you're taking off the paint and stuff. Okay, so I got it all pretty much roughed down. Let's hold it up so the cameras can see. I gotta refresh my cameras. difficult. There we go. Now when I moves up a little better. So yeah. All right, we just did 400, so we're gonna move on to 600. I got everything like numbered and labeled on my grits, so I don't do the wrong grit. And you're only gonna hit it a couple times. Like you're just gonna give it a quick hit, and then you're gonna move on to the next spot. You're also looking to get rid of like warps and divots and dents in your builds. So yeah, I can definitely show you something I've built real quick to give you guys an idea of what I'm working on. I'm working on one of these guys. Yes, that is it, a Gundam model. This is Gundam Barbatos Rex, and I will show you the fanciness of what goes on with this Barbatos. All right, so there you go. He's got some pretty cool armor. So this is my he has a full metal frame, and then I did the detailing myself, the the UV reflective detailing. I created my own like panel liner with it, and I applied it and locked it into a top coat, and it turned out really cool. So that's the back side, and then here's the front side. So this is what I normally work on. So we're gonna be building. I'll show you what I'm actually building right now too. We are building this full armor unicorn Gundam. So it is for a competition. So I'm looking forward to all the other people that are entering, and I enjoy healthy competition. So come on in, hang out, have fun. If you're looking to join that competition, it's called the Verka Challenge. It is on a Discord channel, and you have to seek out the head guy of the Discord channel on his social media. His name's Nordic, and he's a pretty cool guy. He's on pretty much everything, or he's everywhere, man. He's everywhere, man. So just look up Nordic Berserker Max, and that'll be where it gets you. I will have a commercial that's going to play here in about 6 or 7 minutes. Don't be. Oh, hey, bonjour, Chief Littlefoots. Thanks for stopping by. Bonjour, bonjour. Yeah. Yeah, I got a commercial that'll play in a little bit on my podcast, but I'll be here live, no commercials on TikTok. I don't even think you'll be able to hear my commercials on TikTok. But they're cool. They're fun commercials. I'm working on pitching to sponsors and stuff, so I have to build commercial setups so people can see what I can give them. So I'm thinking about doing like a comical 1990s what is it, intro type thing. Will Web C ever get done with his diorama? What's cooking in the competition bay? And what's gonna happen to that SD Gundam? All those things on Web C builds. So those are all things that I got working. I'm working on. Competitions are always priority builds for me, and then after competitions, it is um, definitely my theme builds. My diorama is just a fun thing to do. Hey, Pyro Draco, thanks for stopping by, buddy. And then was it, is that Nando Custom Builds? What's up? Oh, haven't seen you guys in a while. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to tap that like button, hit that screen a bunch of times. Um, yeah, we're just working on that competition build that I'm doing right now. I took a break from building for a little bit, and I am back in it and refreshed and ready to go. This is going to be a super sweet competition build. Full metal. Yeah, I got like sick for a couple months here. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, it definitely felt like a couple months. But really it was like 2.5 weeks. I was just down and out. I was also on my vacation with my wife for my a honeymoon, kind of a thing. Not really a honeymoon, more it's just like anniversary for our wedding. Been married a long time. So yeah, had fun with that, doing that. That's pretty good. What are you building? And those these work's been long. Work's been long. Oh man, yeah. I've been trying to teach teenagers how to be teenagers. I don't know. Trying to kick them out of the house, but they don't seem to want to go anywhere. All right, that's it for this grit. This grit goes really fast. Once you get that 400 done, you only have to hit it a couple times with these other grits, and then you can, if you want, hit it with the buffer just to check to make sure everything's good, and then you're ready for paint. I buff all the other surfaces as well, just to give it a scuff. But I'm using a lacquer that melts into the plastic, so really I'm only sanding to get rid of nub marks. When you're using a really awesome paint and stuff like that. Hey, thanks for the gift. I want to say thank you to Pyro Jacob for sending a heart me gift. That is so awesome, dude. So, Pyro, have you gotten all your third-party kits in yet, buddy? 2 model kits for Pokemon, and I'm thinking of getting a Gundam model kit. Well, let me tell you what, buddy. If you've already built a couple of those Pokemon kits, you're not going to have a hard time with the Gundam at all. It's pretty much the same setup. Um, Pretty self-explanatory kits. They're really fun. They have all sorts of difficulty levels and stuff, and they have all sorts of skill levels. This is what they call an SD Gundam, super easy skill level, but yet it has a whole bunch of details that look really awesome. You know what I mean? And I didn't even put the stickers on this guy yet. I got him ready for paint. We're gonna paint him, so he's gonna look really cool once he's done. Thinking about doing some oranges on him to throw off the color scheme. Um, or you can, do like I did and get really far into it and do custom work like this where you take and put a metal frame into the kit and stuff. This is like beyond extra and everything, like getting his armor to glow with black light and stuff like this. It's just more, you gotta be really into it. So uh, that's my full metal Barbatos right there. He's a 1/100 master grade with a metal inner frame upgrade, and I did a special high-end detailing to him. All right, easy. Ladies, happy building. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah. Fan level 7. Whoop whoop. Fan level 7. Thanks for being a fan. Thanks for getting to level 7 too. That's crazy cool. So I'm also live over on YouTube right now. So hey everybody over to the YouTube. KZLC. What's up? Yeah, verka. You are right. I am working on a verka. I'll give you the scoop real quick. I'm working on this baddie right here. Yep. Oh yeah, you can see it perfectly on both cameras. Awesome. So that's what I'm working on right now, you guys. Just getting the sanding out of the way so we can move into the paint booth with the inner frame parts. And that's all inner frame parts, including all the accessories and everything. So yeah, got a new airbrush. All right. Just so you guys know, over on YouTube, I'm hanging out with my buddies also on TikTok. So my buddy Pyro says he's got new airbrush, and then he's been without power since Wednesday. Because Hold on.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Videos. That's kind of cool. Anyways, we're back to the podcast. And yeah, tree limb fell on your utility pole and took it out. Oh no, that's not cool, Pyro. That's a bum deal right there. We've had a lot of storms lately. Lots of storms. I think we get away with starting at 600 on this piece. Let's try it. So this is piping, and you really don't want to sand piping a whole lot. You just want to get it even. That one spot that has like the two mold lines that come together, and they're usually just one's a little higher up than the other one. You wanna get them even. So that's all I'm doing here, real quick. What's up, Miko Flynn? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I got a flash goal. Thank you for the flash goal, you guys. You guys are so awesome. Yeah, placing it tomorrow, and hopefully the power company turns it back on. So definitely. Oh man. So how did you have to cook everything off on the grill real quick and then keep it cold in the ice box, or um, feel so bad? Like it's just so much meat and everything. Like, oh, but did you have neighbors that were pretty cool? Were like, hey, you can throw your stuff over here real quick. Hopefully, you have some neighbors like that. I got like two neighbors that I think would do that for me. Out of like my 10 neighbors that live next to me. Wow. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Kachu? Hanging out, having a good time. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we're just working on this master grade verka, getting some sanding done. Sanding is always like a big part of the build, and it's part of the meditation process of the build. This is where you're really going to decide how much painting and what painting you're going to do on these parts. You can look at them a lot and get that through, like upgrade to 800. Remember when you're doing these really round parts, take the paint, the new grit a little further than the old grit went, so that you're overlapping, so that you're not creating a funny shape, so that you're keeping a round shape as you go. Really easily. So yeah, it feels really good to be back in the builder's chair, hanging out with you guys, doing all this fun stuff, building these amazing kits for you guys to watch me build. Oh, cool. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you're getting some parts. 1,000 grit. All right, so I do have this new really cool sanding tool. However, I do feel sometimes like some of these parts they're a little loose, like they wobble too much. So the sanding tool just does not do it justice. So I'm working on learning to use this new tool. Instead of it being a circular sanding tool, it's a reciprocating sanding tool. Who's that just joined? I'd like to too. How's it going? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for checking out the live. We're just building some plastic models, talking, chatting, having a great night. What's up, Lieutenant? Thanks for stopping in. Lieutenant Shaw, everybody. I am building the Verka full armor unicorn. I'm just getting parts sanded for paint right now. You know my process. Takes me forever. So So thanks for stopping in. What's new with you, Shy? Oh yeah. Well, that's pretty cool, Pyro Draco. Yeah, everybody's got to take a break from social media every once in a while. Me included. I have definitely found myself needing to take a break. And usually every summer after I come back from my vacation of my anniversary, I am like refreshed and ready to go. But it just sucks that this summer I ended up getting sick like right at my anniversary and everything. I don't know what it was. It was like some funk, just some upper chest funk. Um, and nothing major, Nobody was throwing up or anything. It was just like I was coughing a lot. It wasn't fun to watch. So as you can tell, I'm not doing a whole bunch of coughing right now. So we seem to be keeping it under control. Oh yeah, I'm glad to be feeling better too. And hey, you know what? Sometimes just building for yourself, that's totally cool. I bet I've got stuff that I've never showed you that I've built just for me to look at. Hold on, let me show you it. I've never showcased this, but this is my shield dog. It's from like 30-minute missions or whatever. My brother-in-law gave it to me. I never really showcased this before. It's the first time I've showed anybody this. But this is one of those things that I just built for myself. And look, check it out. He's got a little shield from Sinaji that says Websy Builds. Oh yeah. Repping the brand, Gotta rep the brand. So yeah, those are just I have that stuff too, man. I usually just build just to have on hand that I like to have. So as I look up above, I have a whole bunch of models sitting right above the workstation. A lot of you guys have seen the workstation pictures. So I've done a little rearranging up there, but they're all still up there. All right. Now we're on to another part. Now this part has a lot of details on it. We don't want to lose a lot of these details. So we're going to have to be very careful at how we're going to sand this one. So we're going to buff the whole thing after we sand it, but we're going to be very gentle at sanding. We're not going to be hitting the whole part like I was just doing on the last one. We're going to go real slow and meticulous. And we're only going to hit the parts that we need to on this. It's like there's a lot of detail in here. You see all that detail on those pipes? It's kind of hard to show you, but there's like a lot of like little scribe lines and stuff on those pipes. So we're gonna be real careful. We're just gonna hit the piece we want to hit. My son's going to bed. He's a twerp. He stayed up because he's 15 and it's summer break. There is a mold line that I do want to get rid of though, so we have to hit that, like Eddie where that line is. But we just need to be careful not to sand into the detail. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go real slow, not sand into the detail. All right. So now we're gonna just move on to the next grid as we go. Once again, trying not to do a whole bunch of damage to the detail. Oh yeah, I love those details from those armor core and the 30-minute series and stuff like that. They're very detailed. Let's see, non-armored core. I just did a Mub Love about 5 months ago. Didn't detail it up or anything, just did a straight build of it. Oh, I got a third-party kit I haven't shown you, Pyro. That's new. Check this guy out. This guy's pretty sweet. Is a Good Smile company. Martian successor. Oh, princess or something like that. It's yeah, so it's pretty good. It was a fun build. Only thing is the hip joints that hold the legs, they snap real fast. So you're gonna have to put rods in, and it wasn't easy because it's like a T rod that holds the legs on. So when it snaps right at the base of the T. So you have to like drill through it and hope that you're not. It was so bad. But I got it done. So as you see, the legs are still on there. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I will stop and show you guys a model kit once in a while, just to show you that like, hey, this is what we're working towards. Usually on a sanding video or on a sanding live, it's just me talking and showing you me sanding the parts. I feel like yeah, it can be a little monotonous. Thanks. The more you guys conversate, though, the better the time goes. 600. So we're gonna hit this. Don't need to hit that. Hit that real quick. I like Good Smell. All right, cool. I'm glad you like them. The instructions for that Good Smile kit were really easy to follow, and they were very, very well detailed instructions. Like I really liked having those nice detailed instructions. That was really great. Oh, my big fat hands. Wow. All right, remember, here's a tip. Never blow on the dust. Always wipe it with your fingers. You can wash your hands later, but you can't wash your lungs. So that's something. And that's where the dust is like all on my finger. So just keep that in mind. Okay, 600. I got this little thing to fix right here, and then we can move on to 800s. I finished the Ghost in the Shell Takashima kit not too long ago, and it turned out great. Hey, that was a really interesting kit. How were the joints on that kit? I have to say, I was interested in taking that kit and using it in some kit bashes of mine. What is it? Leviathan Prime once took a ball and won a competition with a ball. Believe it or not. But what he did was he took that kit and he mashed it up with the four-legged kit. And I was like, hey, a Ghost in the Shell armor for a ball would be pretty cool. Thanks for joining the live. I'm just over here getting parts ready for paint. Having a fun conversation. No. I am the champion. So I'm working on how's it going, V, by the way? I hope you're having a great month. I am not. I have not been having a great month. There might be no escaping what you're talking about, but I'm definitely not losing. I'm right there where I need to be. Points are up. Points are up. And the points don't matter. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. So no, I just came out from being sick for 2.5 weeks here. So that was kind of why my month hasn't been going so great. It's nothing to do with anything outside of the house or anything like that. It's just I had this like cough that was like right here. It didn't go down into my chest and it didn't go into my stomach and it didn't go up into my sinuses. It was just like right here. Just it was wearing on me. And I got to the point where like I looked at my wife and I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of coughing. So, I'm doing better. My son's doing better. He got it too. My daughter ended up getting like a sinus infection, and she's doing better now. Then my wife's the last one to get sick always, so she's kind of battling a sinus infection, but she went and got some mucus relief stuff right away, so she's doing great. Me, I don't like to take too much medicines or anything, so I smudged at the beginning of my sickness to force myself to start coughing. When you do smudge, it's a little different than but it works. Oh yeah, no, I get it, I get it. That's why like I said, it was my bad month had nothing to do with anything going on outside of anywhere. It more so this one was more self-contained to a locale. But I get it, and just keep your head up. Things will get better. Um, so that was 1,000 grit, everyone. Uh, we're gonna hit it with the buffer real quick. I am also live.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Commercial. I don't know, for some reason commercials and stuff aren't working right at the moment, so I'm gonna have to put a new parameter in for when commercials play, like do not. So I'm working on this new screen switch technology on my OBS, and so whenever I talk, it switches me to a two-screen view, and then when I stop talking and I'm quiet for a while, it just switches me to a one-screen close-up on my hands view. Totally cool. I like that. But when it goes into commercial mode, whenever I talk or say anything, like if I'm still talking to you guys on TikTok, it'll override my commercial. And yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Anyways, Darwin, oh no. Like, okay. I'm a little confused on this reference. I know what Cult of the Lamb is, I believe, but I'm getting not getting the Darwin. Hey, Blackheart, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. We're just talking, hanging out with a few of my other buddies and stuff in here. Pyro Draco and Belina the Kip Ash Queen, and Cot Julie is also in here still. That's when I remember. Okay, so that was Cot Julie that said that. Okay. Now I remember. All right. That makes a little more sense. So how's everybody else? Wow. Blackheart, how have you been? Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to look forward to having my brand new boots on it last. Are like some cosplay boots you got coming in, or are they gonna be like, you know, out and about boots, hiking boots? What kind of boots you talking about? By the way, I got my first PG. Oh, I'm jelly. I'm so jelly. I think I want my first perfect grade to be that whack Gundam Wing Zero custom. Um, don't hate me for saying it's whack. We all know it's not up to par with like that PG Zaku 2 you just got. Wow, that's a cool kit. But however, I'm a big wing guy, so like all the wing kits, I have most of them. I'm literally only missing like 3 kits. I'm missing a couple clear kits, and I'm missing the high resolution wing proto. So That's like a $200, $300 box, and then the clear kits, those are each like $40, $50 kits. So I gotta save up some money for those. 'Cause I'll get them. Those are the only ones I'm missing. I have all the rest, I think. Oh, and a no grade. I should probably get a no grade. Okay, it was 400. Yep. 98 version that comes with LEDs for the head and water slizzles. Water slides are awesome, you guys. Pyro says his PG Zaku is the older version, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with the older version. This is where I draw the line, you guys. When I'm sanding out nub marks, I don't want to sand away. This is gonna take more work than I thought. Now I'm a little upset. How are we gonna fix this? Okay. I didn't know that it was like that. This is the wrong tool. We are going to use the 400 grit. I think it's already on here. Ooh. Here's my reciprocating sander. Look at that. It's got pretty light. The trick is to just, hold the part still and move the sander. It doesn't always feel like it's doing anything, but it is. It takes its time. It takes 25 minutes to charge this bad boy. Ren Fair. High heel boots for Ren Fair? I don't know. It's a little muddy up here at our Ren Fair site, so unless you're like always walking on like cobblestone or something, I guess. But I guess you'll have to show them when they get here. Uh, Hot Rod, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for liking the live. I'm being a little noisy right now. I'm sorry. Boots were well worth the $300. Oh, I bet they were worth $300. I'm not saying they weren't. I was just saying, hey, just last time I went to the Ren Fair up by where I live, a little bit different. It could be different where you are. You're over on the East Coast. I am in the Midwest. I have a bunch of friends that I went to high school with and stuff, and they're like actors, and they're the actors that put on Renfest here in Minnesota. And they also travel to some of the other Renfest sites and do those ones as well. And then some of my friends have also retired from doing Renfest. Brewers fan 03, thanks for stopping in. What's up, comics? Chasing Comics? Is that what it is? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for giving us a check out. We're sanding parts for a model kit. We're having a good time. Just chatting, not doing a whole lot. Yeah, I had a fun day today. I drove out to one of my tribal reservations, hung out there, checked out some sights, had some fun. Me and my wife talked for a little bit about possibly not moving out there because There's nothing there. It was like road and trees. I was laughing. She's like, "Would you ever want to move out here?" I was like, "No." What's up? By the way, I got a medal from my orchestra teacher for being excellent in orchestra. That is really cool, Kachuli. Really awesome. Good night, Belina. Take care. Thanks for stopping in. And yeah, that's really awesome, Kat. Like, my teenagers, my two kids, my youngest, they both do orchestra as well. They just finished eighth grade orchestra. They're going to take a 1 year break, they said, and then they might go back to orchestra. They might not. But either way, we bought and paid for their instruments. Oh, cool. Yep. So they're pretty awesome. He did a good job. Their orchestra teacher's pretty awesome. I like him a lot. He taught them some pretty good songs. He did classical all the way into New Age, so he was pretty awesome for teaching. All right. There's another part in the bin. Parts don't have a lot. Some of these parts end up on the floor. Don't worry, I found it. Ooh, I forgot to get a drink before I sat down, you y'all. I might have to go change that. Let's see. All right. This one, it doesn't really have easy. We're gonna have to just buffer this one. I think. We don't want to. We don't want to do any damage to these parts. Yeah, so this is a competition build. I have 3 months to finish this. I started it this week, so we will see how that goes. I'm super excited, super happy to be building this kit. Yeah, so see everything real quick with the buffing pad. Awesome, that's cool. Who's that? Shaimathu. Some of these parts, you'd be like, well, I don't want to sand them, but they look just tacky. You're gonna sand it. First, make that cut. If there's a cut in there, make it look a little deeper. So that when you sand over it the other direction, you're not getting rid of that detail. Because there's some little details in there. You don't want to lose those details while you want to retain the other details. I also want to thank you all for coming in, hanging out with me tonight. It's been a great build night here at Webseed Builds. I really enjoy hanging out with you all, and I really enjoy your support. And I also enjoy your feedback. So I'm sure you guys are wondering what are some of my plans for this build. So far, I have two options. Option one is I do a Power Rangers Sentai theme build with a Gundam unicorn. That's going to be kind of tricky, but I can get it done. And then the other option, the one that I'm leaning more towards, is building a dragon, um, giving it a look like a dragon. Number one. So that's going to be kind of my two options that I have. I have not spent any money on the kit yet, except for sandpaper, which is only like 20, 25 cents. So usually I do put like a certain budget limit on a competition build. And because I'm using the kit that I won from the last competition I did, and I'm just rolling it into this competition, it kind of frees up my budget for the competition. So I'm looking for something exciting to do with it. The dragon thing, here's what it is. SD Gundam has these black and red dragons out right now. And I was thinking about taking those and painting them white and green. And then adding them to the Gundam because the Gundam's white and green. Or we could redo the outside of the Gundam to also make it look like a dragon that transformed or whatever. So I've got a couple ideas I'm playing around with on how the dragon thing would look and stuff. And I definitely want it to look like when he's in unicorn mode, like you can't see any of the dragon parts really. And then all of a sudden he transforms and then all the dragon parts can come out. You know what I mean? All right. Well, thanks, Scott Julie, for coming in and hanging out. You have yourself a great day tomorrow. I'm having a great time right now. Building this kit is so fun. What's up, Pillswickle Studios? How are you doing, Pillswickle, buddy? I haven't talked to you in a while. I am doing better. I was sick for about 2.5 weeks. Whole bunch of crazy stuff has been going on. Show me your kits. Because you don't do any of these, I'll just show you this one. There you go. How are you, buddy? What have you been up to? I'm doing good. Today I feel better. I had like this upper chest thing going on. Roadie. Not fun. But I'm doing a lot better now. Yeah. So you see that line? That line is where I did the scribing to make that detail stay there instead of it losing when I sanded it. Saved a piece. Save the ideas. So real quick, this is like a really tiny part. Like this is like one of the most ridiculous parts. Like why would I sand this part? Because I'm one of those competition builders that like I know that part needs to be sanded. It needs to get sanded now. So that's what I do. Anyways, been having a good time. Got two nubs and seam lines all the way around the part. This is so fun. This is my life. I really hope the armor pieces are like undergated. I hope. Ha 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 ha. So I had this great idea, and I think me, Pyro Draco, Pillswickle Studio, and Infinite Darkness should do skits of old MASH episodes. I think that would be an awesome thing to do. Um, Infinite Darkness. Infinite Darkness would be yes. I said MASH. You're right. I said MASH. Infinite Darkness would be Radar. Um, we could have Pillswiggle Studios be either Honeycut or Trapper John, and then I would definitely be Hawkeye Pierce, and then we could definitely get you to play Frank Burns, Pyro, or you could play Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake. I like Blake. You wouldn't look like Potter. You're not really a Potter, but you could do Blake or Burns. If we all got together and did skits, oh man, it would be fun. It'd be great. I know I'm weird like that. The complete DVD box set. That's awesome. I've got Disney right now, and on the Hulu side of Disney, they've got all the seasons. So I'm on season 6 right now. It's the first full season with Major Winchester. I like Major Winchester a little more than I like Frank Burns. I'll be honest about that. I can say that. Ooh, the original movie with that Sutherland fellow. Uh-uh. Who's this? Hey, thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining the live. Yeah, and we're just over here having a blast. We're still going. Whoop whoop. All right. I do. I have this tool. This tool's pretty cool. I'm holding a part. This part is so tiny. I haven't watched that series in a long time because it's something you watch with your Hey, I understand that. Brings up those old memories and stuff. I can understand that. Not wanting to, not wanting to always dig up those memories. I can get that. For me, it was my grandpa. Me and him watched Star Wars together. Skull Wild, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Thanks for coming in, Skull Wild. Skull Wild's over here on my YouTube page. Yeah, dude, we're just working on these really tiny model parts. Been at it for over an hour. We're going on an hour, and I'm on box number 5 of 13 of 31. If that makes any sense. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm also live talking to people on TikTok and um, answering questions, talking, having a good time, keeping the conversation going. I think Pyro, thank you so much for liking the live. What's up, AK Gunpla? Thanks for stopping in. We're on the last bit for this. I did forget to get something to drink before we started. Woo! My mouth is getting dry. Yeah, we've been having a great time. Oh, so one of the tribal reservations that I went up to today, it was about an hour and 40-minute drive. It was a fun drive. Uh, just fun things me and my wife like to do. It's always funny. This specific tribe we drove up to, it was part of my family's tribe. So we're up there, and as I leave, I speak in my tribal language, and they start just, they're like, oh yeah, yeah, you too. They just get so confused and flustered. They don't know where it comes from or whatever. But it's so fun to do it. I just tell them thank you, just as you're leaving, you say thank you. They should be saying Gigawabaman Waspi or Wapi or Api. Api, Wapi, or Waspy. One of those. But Gigawabaman. Gigawabaman means until next time or until we meet again. It's a good reference when you're meeting people and seeing people from your tribe and stuff, and you want them to come back and visit you again. You make sure before they leave, you say, well, we will see each other again until we see each other again. Well, hey, thank you so much, Pyro. It's been nice having a chat with you as well, buddy. Happy birthday. I love you. You're the best little kid ever. Yay. She's a teenager. She's 14 now. Wow. 14. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I got 17-year-olds as well. So she's my youngest, though. My baby is 14 as of, well, she was born in a couple hours. But, yeah, she my little baby. She came out. She was about as blue as this. Doctors called her in cold blue. They started pushing on her little chest with their fingers, and eventually she started breathing. So, hey, how's it going? Main jets. Those Wickle, did you come back yet? He's probably saw a shiny sticker. Got distracted. Oh, yeah. Oh, my hands. What's up, Draxler? 600. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. All right. Yeah. You need airbrush. Just wear protection. Be safe. Paint clean parts. And have fun. It's exciting. I I'm very proficient in the brushing of air. Want to see my first picture? This is my first airbrush picture. It was an elephant. What do you think? I also did a snake and an eagle, but the elephant is the best. No, no, it was me. Shut up. You're gonna go to bed. You don't want to wake your mama. Spazzo dog. I drop something and she barks. We got some storms coming in around 4 or 5. Nice, one of those bigger ones. Well, that's cool. I just found my airbrushes. I have auto body airbrushes. And I just found mine. I have two really old, really nice ones, and then I got this new purple one too. So I haven't tried out my purple one. But my older ones I got from my grandpa because he used to do that type of work. When he passed away, part of the inheritance that got divvied up was grandpa's tools. So I got some of his airbrushing equipment for cars, for big cars. Yep, yep. My grandpa was a crazy, awesome dude. Ooh, I prefer um I prefer the dual action for a couple reasons. Um, you can push down and start letting air out, and then you can slowly drag back, and you can have control. I feel like those trigger ones, those are just for priming. That's what I think. I feel like that's what those are more for. Like if you're doing a lot of priming or wide body spraying, then yeah. But like on small Gundam parts and stuff, you'd be surprised. You don't really want a wide spray pattern because you're gonna be wasting. Like if your airbrush has a wide spray pattern like that wide, you're gonna be wasting a lot of paint. Look at all that paint waste. But if you have control and you can bring down that so it's only this much, then you have a lot less waste. That's just a thought to think about. That's kind of where I am with it with airbrushing is waste, cutting back on my waste. So that's going to be my challenge moving forward with airbrushing, making sure I don't waste. I've gotten this like I've gotten everything else down. Like I'm pretty proficient in the airbrushing world, uh, especially for Gunpla. So I feel like I should start cutting back on certain things like waste and using less paint and things like that. Because in the past, I have been wasteful to get the job done, to get the project the way I want it. I've used a little extra paint. It doesn't hurt, but uh, when the goal is called less is more, less is more. That's, I guess, my big tip for everybody today with competition builds and painting. Uh, Try to learn to be a little bit on the savvy side, the frugal side, the I don't want to waste paint side. Yeah, I use a .03. Uh-oh. I use a .03 on my airbrush. And that one does primer and base and gloss. Does all three. Now you can switch your base or you can switch your primer to a .5 or you can do a .3 with primer. But some people prefer a .5. It makes a heavier coat. But then like your glosses, you can go down to a 2 with your glosses, but I mean you're gonna be spraying twice as long. might as well just do a 3. And then when you're on 3 with your gloss, you can you get a wider coat, you know. But that's it. You don't want to dump. Like, gloss is not something you want to dump on things because you can get some adverse effects. Like with matte coating, you can get clumping, and then it'll look really gross. It'll look like somebody did something on your thing that you didn't want them to do. Think about that. Oh, we only got like 4 parts left of this bin, and I'm thinking I'm gonna call it a night after these 4 parts because, woo, it's a lot of work. This is everything we did tonight so far. So we've been working on this. Yeah. So the goal is to like sand at least 2 bins of parts per day or every other day. Um, can't go live every time I work on the kit, but I will be doing some lives just to get caught up on things. I do have some more videos and stuff coming out that's gonna have like some cool commercials in them and stuff coming up. So look forward to that. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I'm not going anywhere yet. We got some parts to finish sanding. We're gonna go through all the grits and we're gonna do it the right way. We're not gonna rush. So I just wanted to thank you all for coming out and hanging out. And it does mean a lot to me when you guys show up when I'm here. My podcast, you might see them more often in the evening now, later in the evening. It is summertime, so people are always out doing things, and so am I. So it's a little harder to constrict yourself to the 8 o'clock time period. However, moving forward, in the fall or mid fall, late fall, I'll probably switch back to an earlier time period for the podcast. However, just remember Friday evening, sometime between 10 and midnight, I will fire up the podcast for lives. And you can come watch and hang out with me and ask questions even on the podcast when they're not live, and I'll still come back and answer your questions. YouTube will give me a notification. However, on TikTok when I'm live, I don't do recaps as much. I have once in a while, but not so much anymore. All right, what was that? It was 800s onto 1,000s. So yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, we're having fun. Okay, 3 more pieces to go. I am using a God hand nippers. Some people think they're overrated. Some people love them. I swear up and down by them. That's not to say I don't have a different pair of nippers. These are my first nipper, and then these are my second nipper. So I cut the part off the runner with this. I cut the nubs off the part with this. I know that sounds like it's all sorts of extra. However, the results are really there. Like, you can't beat those results. And that's not like snootiness or anything. That's just like, man, if you don't want those parts to look crummy. I know I'm still sanding them and stuff, but this for a totally different reason. I'm trying to there's a whole bunch of like lines that make these parts look uneven and stuff. And if you don't sand those out, your judges are going to know, and they're going to notice it. They're going to be like, hey, you were lazy when you sanded these parts. And if anything shines through from the Under Armours or anything through my detailing up, if I end up exposing anything, I don't want it to look silly. I don't want to be called out for lacking on a part. So we do that. All right, we can move up to 600. I did a lot today. I changed the locks on my doors. I do that once every like 6 to 10 years because the lock mechanism ends up wearing out or the door handle jiggles loose or whatever. So we end up going out and buying new sets. So yeah, we got new deadbolts and new doors or new door handles. So proud of myself to do that. Um, took me all of 10 minutes to do. Really, it felt longer, but I'm pretty sure it was about 10 minutes worth of work. Kyle 3, what's up, buddy? I like Oreos too, buddy. Like them on my pizza. Ooh, I've seen that. Um, I know a few people that have that. I have a nipper that has an option like that, but isn't that? Um, it's not a nipper. It's a flange cut or whatever. You use it for cutting like claw plate and stuff. Mine's big and bulky. Oh, here's this. I have this, and it has replaceable blades on it, and this is for cutting claw plate. And you can you can get different angles and stuff. So depending on where you need to cut your claw plate, and then that is the replaceable blade, and it cuts like that. And then it has a lock mechanism to keep it closed. It works really great for lots of things. However, what you're talking about, I do not have. Um, I know what you're talking about though. A couple other people who build Gunpla do have that tool, and they're really awesome. They use it when they need it. I got a new Gunpla tool that I didn't have before. Let me see. I have this. This is one of my new Gunpla tools. This is a circle cutter. So what you would do is if you want a circle piece of tape, you can take the circle piece of tape or the piece of tape, put it down, and then use this. And there's a razor or a knife, hobby knife right here. And the hobby knife and the pin go around and cut the circles. It's a really nice tool. I really like it. Measures in millimeters and inches, which is good. Some people might say it is. Some people might say it's not. I don't know. Anyways, I don't get into all that. This is one of those pieces you just nip it and you just gotta leave it. Last piece of the night, right here. Hey, hey. Alrighty. That's it. We got this part cleaned up. That's one more bin to add to the done pile. And that's right there. And the next bin of parts will be this one right here. And that'll bring us down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bins to go. All right. So that's should be less than 4 days of work. Right there. Less than. Especially if I can put a couple hours in tomorrow. So thank you everybody for coming out and hanging out with me tonight on WebC Builds. Thank you everybody for coming out and hanging out on TikTok as well. You guys have been awesome. So we're gonna go ahead